Hey y'all, welcome back to At the Table podcast, a virtual table where we discuss all things young adulting. My name is Fikayo and thank you so much for having me back in your ears. All right, where do we start? Um in this podcast today, we're just going to have a conversation. It's going to be one of our Let's Talks. And at the end I'm going to do a Q&A because I feel like y'all need to get to know me better. So we're gonna do that as well. I'm not in the mood for our segments today, honestly. I just want to talk. I just want to vent, and I just want you to listen and relate if you can. Hopefully, you can, and just so you know, you're not alone. If you noticed last week, I wasn't able to post, and it's because a lot has been going on in my life lately, and I don't know, it's causing me a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety, and there's nothing happening that is inherently wrong. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm like perfectly fine. In fact, I'm actually so blessed because my life has picked up, yeah, but it has become the most beautiful thing ever. I love it so much. I love what I do. I love who I'm becoming, but it is a lot. And handling all the things, everything, sometimes it can get heavy. It can get very, very heavy. So last week and this week has been a heavy lift for me, and I'm just trying to get all the things that need to be done, and sometimes I can't. And last week, unfortunately, the podcast had to suffer it. And when it didn't happen, when I wasn't able to post, I really beat myself up on it because like I promised myself that I was going to be consistent. I promised myself I was going to be consistent. So what does that say about me? Am I a quitter? Am I someone that can't be relied on? Do I not have discipline? That whole idea really hurt me, or just thinking like that, I guess, towards myself really hurt me. And it was hard, but I think just talking to some people and talking with people and dealing with that disappointment made me realize that because you are actually being too hard on yourself. And that's one of the things that I wrote down that I wanted to talk about. That I am so hard on myself. There's this quote though that says, like, I run so fast because you don't know where I came from. Like, I'm running from where I came from. And I feel like it's coming from there. I'm definitely running away from something. I I can't really tell you exactly what it is. I don't know necessarily how to articulate what I have been running from, but I know that there is like a dark shadow behind me that I'm trying to get away from as far as possible. And sometimes I do need to tell myself that I need to calm down. Like, it's okay. And it's one of those things that I've been talking to my therapist about also. Like, you can relax, Addie. Like, you can relax, Mikhail. Like, it's fine. You are only, what, 23? Like, you don't have to conquer the entire world. And sometimes I find that I am trying to conquer the entire world. And before I know it, I am genuinely exhausted. So I guess, like, just learn from me, I guess, and take things slow. Or at least that's what I'm trying to teach myself now. And it's so interesting because I personally teeter across, or I have teetered across being incredibly non-ambitious, like just not even wanting to do anything, to wanting to do everything. Um, and it's not like a personality thing that it should be alarming, but it's more so, or it always has been more of a motivation thing. And also, when, like, there were just times where things were just happening to me that were just kind of a bit unfortunate. So a lot happened, but essentially I wasn't motivated then. But now, like, I am motivated times 5,000, and I want to do everything, but there's only 24 hours in a day. And it's hard too. And then when I don't get everything done, I get really, really, really upset at myself and really sad. And those negative voices start coming in and telling me things that are probably not true. So I definitely need to figure out how to slow down. It's interesting. My therapist, he actually said something to me yesterday because today's Friday. We were talking about stress, and I asked him how does he handle stress. And let me go forward a little bit. I am extremely organized with everything I do. I have a planner, I draw it out every single week. I use Google Calendar to organize my life. I have spreadsheets upon spreadsheets upon spreadsheets. So he told me that, well, actually, his life is a bit chaotic and he's okay with that. Like, he's just kind of like, if I do what I need to do, like, that's good. But if I don't, like, it'll be okay. And he was trying to figure out how, I could be okay if I don't do the things I need to do, or like how to organize all of it. But I really found he used the words like he just lets it be. And I think and I really held on to that when he said that, because I think that that's what I need to start doing. Like, I feel like I need to get to a place where I need to trust myself enough to trust that the important things are done. Like, the things that have to be done get done, and the things that don't get done, it's okay. So, with that obviously comes drawing boundaries. And I'm not the best at this. And it's unfortunate because it's the people pleaser in me that's like, "Oh yeah, I'll do this." And, "Oh yeah, I can handle that." Even though I know I can't, or even though I know that I'm tired, or even though I know that I'm burning at both ends, I will still be like, "Yeah, I'm going to take that on. I'm going to handle it." And it's something that me and my therapist we've been working on as well. And not even this one, not even it didn't even start with this therapist stuff. Like, all of my therapists, we've all worked on it. And there was a clear boundary that I told myself that I wanted to establish, but unfortunately, when um when I was approached and that boundary wanted to be crossed, I wasn't able to respect that boundary. And the the request, I should say, or the the boundary, so I don't know, like, what was wanted from me, which I knew was a bit further than what I could do, wasn't respected. Even though I did say, like, I can't do this thing that you're asking me to do, I can't commit this way. Um, it was kind of like forced on me. And I was so disappointed in myself again at that. Like, I told myself that I'm gonna like start enforcing my boundaries. What happened to enforcing your boundaries? So that's another thing, like, I definitely need to work on, which is really annoying. It's really, really annoying actually, because it just feels like a big betrayal to me sometimes that I can't protect me. But it's so hard. Like, how do you sometimes? Because I really struggle, and I have always really struggled with this idea, right? Um, that, like, if people don't like me, that means that I'm not a good person. And it's been really difficult because, like, inherently, right, I know that's not true, but in my brain, it kind of it kind of like makes it make sense. Like, my brain is like, yeah, if people don't like you, then obviously there's something not to like, so obviously you're a bad person. And that just isn't true. And not only is it not true, but it's not fair. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to the people that are expecting something of me that I know I can't fulfill, or I can't do. Like, it's just not fair. And it's a concept that I'm trying to rewire or rework, but I can't. I can't hold it sometimes. Like, I can't control it. I just want to make everybody happy, even if it's at the detriment of myself. And I hate that. I hate that so much. Another thing, though, to kind of go away from the depressing side that I wrote about, is how much freedom I have and how much I love my freedom. In this season, I have the most freedom that I've ever had before in my entire life. I love, 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 love that I can decide to travel right now, this instant, and nobody's gonna stop me. No, nobody's gonna stop me. I love that I can up and go and I don't have to think about a husband or any kids or any responsibilities other than my plants. I love that. And it's something that I want to be intentional about being appreciative about and reeling in, because I know it's not going to be like this all the time. There's going to be a time in my life where I want these moments back and I want to sit in this freedom again. So I love it. I really, really do. I love it and I don't want to take advantage of it at all. And oh, don't get me wrong. Like when that time comes when it's time for me to take on those responsibilities, like I will love those responsibilities, of course, and I will love the things that I have to do then, but I want to make sure that I got in everything from this season that I need to so that I don't end up being resentful of that time when, things do get a bit busier and life becomes a bit more hectic. So I'm really, really sitting in it. It's not like I'm being crazy with it as well. It's not like I'm like going everywhere and everything, doing all the things. I'm really not, but I do just want to be appreciative of this moment in time that I'm in. Um, yeah. What else did a girl write down? Being goal oriented. Yeah. I I don't know. I am definitely goal oriented at this point. I haven't always been like this, but I definitely am now. And it's good because I'm ambitious, but it's also been like ugh, because I feel like a hamster that's on a damn wheel. I am moving so fast, it's ridiculous. So I need to figure out some type of balance with these ambitions because a girly is starting to tire out. I will not lie to you. This week was really, really hard for me. There was for 3 nights consecutively from Monday through Thursday. I got like 3 to 4 hours of sleep each night. And it's not like I had a hard time going to sleep. I had a hard time falling asleep and staying asleep, which was so annoying. Like I would sleep at 9 o'clock. I would make sure I have done all of my nighttime routine. I even put in freaking lavender on my pillows and stuff because they said that helps you sleep. I put on a dang on humidifier so that I could sleep better, and I'll sleep at like 9:30, but I'll wake up around 2 o'clock and be like, what the hell is this? And it's miserable because then I'd be tired like the entire day for no reason. Because had not slept or had I had not slept on time, then okay, that's completely my fault. But I did sleep on time. So what is my body doing? I tried to freaking meditate this week as well. Y'all, this is usually not the tone of my podcast. So if this is the first time you're hearing it, I'm sorry, but it's been a long week and this is the journey of adulting, isn't it? So we're here. Okay. Okay. Now, let's get back to the title of this podcast anyway. And yes, my dear, it is August. Can you believe it's August though? That's kind of insane because I could have swore that I was just writing New Year resolutions, but I say that every month. But it's insane. Like we are actually literally in the middle of August. So I don't know where time is going, but it needs to slow down just a little bit because what? But yeah, we are in August. That means school is starting for people. That means the summer is ending. That means we have a few more months into until the new year. So I am here to tell everyone that it is time for us to get on our Zoom. If you have a New Year's resolution that you still haven't started, it's okay. I am not here to judge you. I am here to simply motivate you. Come on, let's get it done. All right. If you had that goal, if you had that weight loss, I don't know, child. I don't know. But you know what I'm talking about. If you had a goal, whether you had a habit, whether you had a weight that you wanted to be at, it don't matter. You can start it now. You can start it now and then just take it into the end of the year and then it counts. It completely counts. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to motivate you. Let's get on our zone. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. Come on, come on, come on. End of the year is coming. December is coming. Don't let it be another wasted year. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen like that. Okay? That's actually something that I've been thinking about recently as well. How I want to end the year. Um, I definitely want to make a list, and we can make it together. To be honest, that's just like that's just like the words are literally right there. It literally just escaped me. But yeah, what do I want to accomplish by the end of this year? What do I want to have done? What do I want to have completed? And like maybe what type of habits, routine, weight I want to be at the end of the year so that I have a expectation for this year, the end of the year. Um but yeah, I definitely want to do that list. If you've never thought about it, here you go. Let's do it together. If you do it, let me know. But yeah, okay. All right. I think that's all I had to get off of my chest to you guys. Okay, let's go into our Q&A, all right? Okay. Okay, so these questions that I'm going to be whatever. These questions I collected from Instagram. I asked you guys to ask me things for the podcast and some of you did. So, I'm going to just pick a few and answer them. And the first one that really drew my attention, and also a lot of people asked me, was actually what made you start the podcast? And I started the podcast for three main reasons. The first one being I wanted a space where anyone who was like me, anyone that was kind of in the same life journey as me, anyone that kind of was dealing with the same type of things that I was dealing with would have a safe place to be, and to kind of just feel like they're not alone. Because that feeling of loneliness is, I think it's one of the worst things ever. So if I can help, or at least the idea was, if I can help one person feel a little bit less lonely, I've done my job. So that's one of the reasons why I started this podcast. Another reason was because I really wanted to see something grow. I think there's nothing more beautiful than watching a flower bloom. And I hope that that's what this podcast is going to be like as well. I hope that I can watch this podcast grow. And that was my thing last year as well. So last year, I got into this really big like mental crisis, I guess. I don't know, where I was like, I didn't bring anything from last year into this year. So I was like, no, this year is going to be different. I'm going to have something tangible that I am bringing. So this right here, this podcast, this space is it's my work. It's my body, it's my light that I'm bringing into the world and hopefully will travel with me across time. I plan on podcasting when I get married and talking about the wedding experience. I plan on podcasting when I get pregnant and I talk about the mom experience. I plan on podcasting when I freaking retire and talking about the retirement experience. This is going to be, or at least what I want it to be. It doesn't have to be something big, it doesn't have to be overproduced, nothing, but I want it to be something that has value in my life and in other people's lives as well, as they get to be at this table with us, with me, and kind of travel through life and time. So that reason, and also the third reason, was for the soft skills that podcasting allows. So things like consistency, things like discipline, things like how to speak properly and clearly in a mic, things like how to speak on the fly and kind of organize your words and your thoughts really quickly, the public speaking skills, how to read from a script, all of these things are things and qualities that I wanted to have, and I knew that podcasting would be able to get me there. Also, podcasting is just so great. I actually did podcasting over doing YouTube because, let me be completely honest, I don't want to be just a pretty face. I'm not saying that all YouTubers are, but I didn't want to get caught up on like how I looked. I didn't want to get caught up on like, does my makeup sit right? How does my hair look? Like, I want to be able to come to the podcast and be able to do a podcast looking and feeling any type of way and not really caring. But YouTube is a little too much for me. And I also cannot, I tried YouTube, but I cannot stare at my face for hours. Like, that is so, I can't do it. It's so disgusting to me. I just can't do it. Um, I don't know what it is. I just can't stare at my face for that long. So podcasting was great. Even right now, you should see the way I look. You shouldn't see the way I look actually, because I look horrible. But I like that I can come here true and authentic and not really have to put too much filters up. Also, I really, really enjoy the fact that I feel like with podcasting, I'm allowed to get a bit more vulnerable. I don't know why, but YouTube feels a little too public to me. And I don't know, but podcasting, like not too many people listen to podcasts. It's a little bit difficult to get discovered. Even at that, you're not seeing my face, you're hearing my voice. So I feel like what I'm trying to connect with you on is on your emotion, not necessarily with your eyes. I'm trying to connect to your heart, not your eyes. So I feel like it's a different kind of connection, and it's the type of connection that I want to make with people, not the one where you see me and you're like, this girl's gorgeous, whether you think I'm gorgeous or not, you know. So, and that's what inspired me to start this podcast. Let's get on to the next question. What do you think you improved on the most this year? I definitely improved on my consistency and discipline. Last year I had zero. This year I am much, much better. Another question is, what is your end goal in life? My end goal in life is to be a light for God. I want people to see me and know that God exists. That's literally the beginning and the end of it. Yeah. Favorite rubbish to enjoy on the low. You guys, there's this one snack, and y'all are going to rebuke me for it, but it's not even a snack, but it's a meal I only have once a year because it's on Thanksgiving that this combination comes together. But it is pumpkin pie and jollof rice. I'm telling you, that combination smacks. It's something about the sweet and savory that I just can never get over. But every single year, I have it once a year, and I look forward to Thanksgiving literally just for that combo. I'm literally just for that combo. I love it so much. But people hear it and they want to throw me off the ship. But it's really good. This Thanksgiving, I'll remind you guys should try it. Okay, so another question is, what is the best way for someone to build community in a new city and space? I would say that in to build community, I feel like you should be vulnerable, and that you should know yourself well so you can go and find people like you. At the end of the day, you're going to attract what you are. So like really, really know yourself and find those things that you like to do and go into spaces with like-minded people. um I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know why I'm answering this. I am not the most social. I am also trying to find friends. But that's the advice that I've constantly been given, especially if you want to build community. I think it's you need to find what you like and then go find people who like what you like and go hang out with people. Go hang out in spots of the things that you like to do. So if you like to read books and you want to build a book club, go to the library and go and ask people if they want to do books together, you know? Or if you like knitting, go to Hobby Lobby and hang out in the knitting section and go and see if you can solicit friends that way, you know? um, another question that I was asked was, what are 23 things you wish you knew before you turn 23? And actually, I have a podcast on this. So look a little lower around my birthday, around June 25th, you'll see that podcast if you're interested, but it's right there. Um, Another question was, what are my biggest regrets? And my absolute biggest regret in this entire life is not listening to my gut. There have been several times in my life where my gut, my inner voice, the Holy Spirit within me has told me something and I didn't listen. And every single time, because of that, I have paid a price for it. So that is my biggest regret. And that is something that I will be carrying into, well, I guess the rest of my life. I will always be intentional about my inner voice and listening to that like still voice within me and making sure I follow it. Yeah. What emotion have you been feeling the most lately? Baby, I've been feeling stressed. I've been feeling stressed, but girl, I've been meditating and running, so hopefully I'm able to figure it out. Another question says, favorite thing to do to de-stress, and I'm trying to figure that out now. I really enjoy running. I don't know why. It's because it kind of lets me get out of my head. Um, I don't know where I go, but I just know that with running, like I'm just kind of further away from my life's problems. So I really, really like to run. I'm trying to meditate because apparently meditating is pretty great. So I'm doing that as well. Another question is, what do you think the characteristics of someone who loves you? What do you think are the characteristics of someone who loves you? Um, Aside from what the Bible says love is, I think for me, one of the biggest indicators of someone who loves me is someone who doesn't try to change me. Um, Life is hard, and life isn't easy, and also everyone is very, very different. As you get older, you'll start to realize like people are actually like really, really different from you. If you and ultimately whoever you marry is gonna be different from you as well. But if you're trying to change me, that means you don't love me, and we shouldn't even be together. That at least that's what I think. Um, and yeah, yeah. Someone asked me also, what is your greatest memory? And I don't know if I have a single memory because in my head, memories don't really sit like pictures in my head, I think, but memories sit like feelings. And some of the greatest feelings I've ever had was have been like sitting with my sisters and laughing or laughing with my friends, like anything that like really really lets me laugh. And I'm talking about like tearing up. I love those moments, and I don't get them a lot. We don't. It's something that you should watch too. Like you don't get those real deep laughs like too often. So whenever I do get those laughs, I really try to be intentional about it. I really do. I really try to sit in that moment. But those are my best moments in the past and in the present, and I'm looking forward to them, the ones that will come in the future. But those are my best moments for sure. Uh, all right. If you could tell your past self one thing, what would it be? If I answered this, it would be to listen to your inner voice, and I would tell myself like, stop worrying. You're fine. You are okay. Child. What is a way to stay motivated during a semester? Um, I actually have a podcast coming out in 2 weeks about this. Well, I interviewed someone and they talk about their school experience, but for me, I'm gonna answer really, really quickly. And I think that the best way to stay motivated during the semester is have someone that keeps you accountable, whether that be a friend, whether that be a parent, whether that be an advisor. That really, really helps me. Someone that like literally I have to report to every week. Um, I don't know what it is about it, but I definitely need someone to keep me accountable. And when I have someone that keeps me accountable, it makes me feel like I can't slack. That's just the type of person I am. So maybe you're like that as well, or maybe you've never even thought about it. I say try it, but it really helped me. Someone asked me, what are my daily joys? And my daily joys really reside in the small things. I like saying hello to my coworkers in the morning. I like that first sip of coffee that I get. I like that feeling at the end of a run that, like, I did it, you know? I like when I'm at the end of a workout when I'm going to my car. I like when I am taking a shower at night and I know that I did something today. Those are my daily joys, the small things. Trying to start reading my Bible for real. How do you stay consistent with it? Interesting. This is a very good question. And initially, I have like this long, drawn out answer. But what I want to say is, well, first, make it fun for you. Make sure that you find how you want and need to read your Bible. Talk to different Christians, see how they do their Bible studies, and see what works for you. Go on YouTube, go and look it up. That's really what I did when it helped me, and I realized that I read my Bible the best when I was able to combine some type of like artistic nature in it. So I actually got like a Bible journal, and then I made it like this really really cool book. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like I wrote in it like crazy. I drew in it. I had like these different colored pens, different color highlighters, and I would go in it and I would mark it, and I loved the experience. But I also feel like there's another thing to delve into as well. The question is, I have a question for you. So do you even want to read your Bible? Because let's be for real, if you want to do something, you'll make time for it. And if you do want to do something and you don't make time for it, that's another issue. Like that's you don't have consistency, you don't have discipline, or you just don't know how to do it. You don't know how to read your Bible, you don't know how to. So like tackle it that way. Is it that you actually just don't even, is it that like you don't have the consistency and the discipline for it? Because that means you need to go and build consistency and discipline. Or is it that you just don't know how to do it? If you just don't know how to do it, then go and research how to do it. But it's like one thing, but it's two different things to attack. If that helped, I don't know. But hopefully you got what I was trying to say. But yeah. Um, The next question is, how do you stay so consistent? I'm trying to build that. How do I stay consistent? I've just said that I'm a consistent person. That was the beginning and the end of it. I'm a consistent person. There's that book, Atomic Habits. It really changed my life. But he mentioned something. He said that if you want to start something new, what you need to do is you need to identify with the name first. Like you need to identify with it, and then you'll realize that you will begin to build your habits in accordance to that identity. Hopefully that didn't confuse you. If it did, let me explain. So before I started running, I really loved the girls that ran. I thought it was so motivational. I loved it. And I would try to run here and there, but I would stop doing it after a while. I read that book and I wrote down, Fikayo is a runner. So literally after that, every time that I didn't want to wake up and I didn't want to go run, or every time I wanted to go into bed, I thought about it. Fikayo said she's a runner. What do runners do? Runners run. So Fikayo has to get her ass out of bed and go and freaking run because she said she's a runner. If not, Fikayo's a liar. So I did the exact same thing with consistency. I said Fikayo is a consistent person. So what happened? I had to be consistent. And I'm very, very detailed with what I do as well. So I write everything down. What am I staying consistent at? This, and this. Okay, then I'm staying consistent. I don't leave anything like in the clouds for me, because if it does stay in the clouds, I'll leave it in the clouds and it'll get lost. No, no, no. I have to like write everything down and say, this is what I'm doing. These are my priorities. These are my goals. This is the person I want to become. This is the habit that I'm doing. And that's how I'm able to execute the way I do. And then because I know exactly where I'm trying to go, I know exactly what to do and I make sure that I do it. You understand? There is no if, ands, or buts about it. There is no arguing. There is no nothing. There is literally no nothing. And also I realized that my life depends on this. Nothing comes of those who are not consistent. Nothing. Even think about it. If you're not consistent in breathing, you're not going to be alive. If you're not consistent in eating, you're not going to be alive. If you're not consistent in hard work, you're probably not going to make it that far. If you're not consistent in running, you're going to get obese or your body's going to be very, very unhealthy. So I just knew that like consistency was one of those things and those character traits that I had to nail in the head, especially while I'm early, because I know that the fruits of consistency are not something I want to miss out on. So that is why I'm able to stay consistent, because I have to. That's the that's the beginning and the end of it. I just have to. Whew, that was a lot. Okay, all right, coming down now. Someone asked me, what is the biggest lesson you've learned so far this year? And again, it's consistency and discipline. Someone asked me, what would you tell your 18-year-old self? I would have told her that she's gonna be fine. I would have told her she was gonna be fine. What else would I have told her? That one is not for here, but yeah. What is something that you are proud of yourself doing? I am proud of the young woman I am becoming now. Yeah, I am. I am very, very proud of me. Yeah. All right. So, I'm done answering questions because, quite frankly, I'm tired and I need to get this podcast up because I am sitting on a Friday and I have not gotten it up yet. So, I gotta do this as soon as possible. And yeah. So, yes, my dears, it is. I hope you really enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed our little conversation earlier as well. It is not easy. Life is not easy. It is not easy, but here we are, and I'm rooting for you, and I hope that you're rooting for me as well, because let me tell you something, I need it. But it is time to wash the dishes and clear off the table. You know I love you, right? I really, really do. And whatever you're listening to me on, please like follow, subscribe, heart, star, everything, please. I am trying to get this podcast in front of more people so I can reach more people. Um, it really, really helps my numbers as well. I really appreciate it. I am trying to get more guests on this podcast as well. So if you're interested in coming on, please let me know. If you know someone that's really, really cool that would be cool to have on, please let me know as well. My Instagram is Fikayo, Fiikayo. That's two I's. And my podcast Instagram is at the table_pod. What else, my dear? I think that's it. Yeah. Hold on, no, it's one more thing. Don't forget to laugh really hard and pray all the time. I love you so much.